Welcome everybody. Today's video finds us over here just north of the city island of Ayutthaya. This is the Lopburi River right here, and back behind was the former Grand Palace back when Ayutthaya was the capital. Anyway, what we're going to look at today is we're going to look at a fantastic temple. It's one of my favorite ones here in Ayutthaya. We're going to take a look at Wat Na Phra Meru. It has a couple different names, but that's kind of the common one. And it was built somewhere like 1491 to like 1509, somewhere in there. They're not exactly sure when it was built. And it was built by the 10th king of Ayutthaya, I believe. And this site right here has a lot of history. It goes back to the White Elephant War, also the Burmese invasion in the 1760s, whenever they sacked the city. So let's look at this temple. There's one of my favorite Buddhas here. That's a sandstone Buddha that goes back like 1200 years or so. So it's at this site, and there's a couple other things to look at. So let's see what we see. This is the Lopburi River. It's one of the three rivers that circle the island. And right over there, you can see a little bit of the ruins. That's the old Grand Palace. Now, if you could imagine, when the Burmese came in, 1765 or so, whenever they came over here and they set up stockades, it took them a couple years to capture the city. But they set up their stockades over here. They set up cannons right here next to this temple, and they shelled the Grand Palace, and they destroyed like one of the spires and stuff like that. But they were here. And this also was the site of the White Elephant War, when the surrender happened here. So let's walk up into the temple and I'll tell you a little bit about the White Elephant War. If you come to this temple, what I like to do is I like to come over here, and this is where I'll stop and get something to eat when I'm out looking around. They have some snacks here, and then they have a couple places to eat. You can sit over here, get some gapao, whatever you want. Some fried rice, or just the normal Thai food, and it's all right here. And this is right across the road, and then this is the entrance to the old temple, Wat Na Phra Meru Rachikaram. It's quite a mouthful. But the Thais, there's so many different names they have, and they shorten them up and everything else. So this is the old outer wall right here. And this place just looks super busy. And over here is where you buy the flowers and buy lottery tickets and amulets and stuff like that. And then this will be the first thing we look at, is this old hall. It is fantastic. Look at that styling up there. And all the Thais are out here. You can see the incense, just having a good time. So they have their prayers, they're burning the joe sticks. You can see the cloud of smoke. And then we'll look up inside. Yeah, you can see the Garuda up there, the little mythical birds, the Nagas. Oh, this is a beautiful hall. You can see the Buasima stones here. This is the ordination hall. Now they think the Buddha image here was restored under the reign of King Prasat Tong. So that would have been around like the 1630s or so. It has the same styling feature as some of the others that you see in his temples. And you see one of the little Chinese lions. And there's a reason for that also. So the Chinese styling goes into Rama III, and that's when this temple was restored after it was abandoned during the fall of Ayutthaya. Now this temple here was the site of the peace treaty between the Burmese and the Siamese. The White Elephant War, the King of Burma found out that the Thais had 4 white elephants, and that was really a big deal. So he demanded them, and the Ayutthaya king turned him down. So what he did is he brought a giant army over here to Ayutthaya, and the Ayutthaya king saw his army outnumbered his, and so they negotiated a treaty, and the treaty was pretty harsh. The Burmese king demanded 8 white elephants instead of 4, and he also took the Prince Narasawan as hostage and took him back into Burma. And there's other things that happened. And Narasawan eventually became the king later on of Ayutthaya and fought the Burmese his whole life. So that was the first part. That was the White Elephant War. And then they sacked the city from this area during the fall of Ayutthaya. And this temple was not destroyed, it was just abandoned, and they came back in and they renovated it under the King of Rama III. And that's why you see the Chinese lions. That was his thing. So this is fantastic. This is the main image. So you can see all the Thais here praying. And this would have been renovated under King Prasatong, I believe, because it looks just like the one at Chai Wat Na Ram, another temple here in Ayutthaya. And you can see these images here. These are the ones they stick the gold leaf on. I really like this one here. It's like sitting in like on a throne. Yeah, it's fantastic. So putting a gold leaf on it, and then you can see the styling, those little colonnades, the little slit windows, the flowers up at the top. So all those temple ruins that you would have seen with the big, huge columns that are shaped like octagons, that's what they would have looked like when they were new. And it would have had this red teak wood up in the ceiling, the ceramic tiles. They would have been just beautiful. So all these temple ruins in Ayutthaya, this is what it would have looked like back when they were in use. Okay, so this is an active temple. So we got the monks over here doing the blessings and stuff like that. Okay, so let's go look at the sandstone Buddha now. So to give you an idea, this is the island of Ayutthaya, and it would have been an octagon, and we're up here somewhere. That's an old map. It's all in Thai, but you can see the outline of the city. All right, so humongous doors, and I like that third one up there with the standing image, and a little bit more of the Chinese influence you see. Some little shrines. There's several of these around, and that would be the Rama III influence. You can see the little Chinese pavilion here with the smiling Chinese Buddha. That was under the reign of King Rama III. Yeah, it's kind of hard to get a good look at this, but it's a massive hall. Okay, so there's two more things I want to look at. There's more to see, but the two main things. One of them is in this one, and then the other one is the old building in the back. Okay, so this looks like it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. So I was wrong. This is 1,500 years old. It's a Dewadi era sandstone Buddha that they brought in from Sri Lanka. And they call this Wihan Noi. It's a small little chetty, and there's some murals in here that date back to King Rama V from the 1800s. Okay, so this is the Buddha. Oh, it is fantastic. You can see the styling here, and you can see the murals were painted all the way to the ceiling. You can see some of the outlines of the houses and stuff like that still, and the people here. All right, so now let's go look at the last thing I want to look at here at this temple today. So you can see this old building here. You see the mythical birds up there, the inlay with the little glass. Really a nice building. And these white columns with the little porch, with the little flowers on the top. Now the last thing we're going to look at is back over here. There's a couple of old chetties and stuff like that, but they have inside of this back hall is kind of a hidden little treasure. And we'll take a look at it now. So we can see the base of the prong right behind that ordination hall. You can see Vishnu up there on the Garuda shoulders. Okay, so this over here says 500 years. There's a 500-year-old Buddha over there, but I don't really want to see it today. We're just going to look inside of here. So inside of this old Wihan, what they've done is they've built this building over the top of a really, really, really old hall that's right there. So I guess this is 400 years old. This is an old Ayutthaya era building. You see the images. This is just a whole like shrine area. They have all the Buddhas. The monks are here doing the blessings. They have all the amulets. You can donate for the poor people to buy the coffins. All this stuff is here. But this is the thing I wanted to see, was this old building. Yeah, this is fantastic. So you can see like the lotus bud arches right there. And then whatever they used it for, I'm not sure. The old brickwork. It's cool that they have preserved it. And there's a little bit of iron in there. That's kind of interesting. They stuck it in the mortar. Yeah, so that's what's in here. And it's just kind of a hidden little gem in the back of this temple. Then over here, these are the old images. One that's like 600 years old. And that's them over here. And this last thing we'll look at is these 3 little chetties right here. And they have this one here that this tree is completely engulfed, that chetty. And they have a little Buddha head. Looks like it's covered up, but it's in the root here. You can just see all those roots right there. Oh, it's amazing. And the other 2 have some trees starting to grow on them. But you can see the styling is Ayutthaya era with the octagonal bases and all of that. That's going to finish up our video over here at this old Ayutthaya era temple. This is fantastic. I would definitely recommend, if you're here, jump in a tuk-tuk and come over and see it. It is an active temple, so you can get to see what the old ones look like. It's not just a pile of bricks, but there's, you know, the monks here doing all this stuff, and there's a ton of history, like I've told you throughout the whole video. And definitely something that you should see. I would recommend it. I've been here many times, and I really like this temple. It's today is really busy, so you know, we just got to deal with the people, but the Thais come over here also. You can stop over here, grab you a bite to eat, and just enjoy this temple. So hopefully you did. If you enjoyed this temple, smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and then you're notified when I post a new video. And if you've been here, or if you have any questions or comments, let me know down below. I'd like to hear it. If you know more about it than I do, tell me also. If I misspoke about some of the dates or whatever, I'm sorry, but trying to go off of memory while I'm out here looking around, I like to look at this, and I like to know about the history of Ayutthaya and the history of the region and all of that stuff. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe, and then you're notified when I post new videos and stuff like this. And until next time, from over here in Ayutthaya, remember, life is a journey. Until next time, enjoy.